Hi, I'm Becky, my channel's What Beck Sews. Welcome back if you're a subscriber and welcome if you're new. Today is a Sunday sewing catch-up where I share my sewing journey with you. In place of a Friday sews, I'm doing a Sunday sewing catch-up because if you saw my vlog on Friday, you will know that I had vlogged my week whilst I was away. But I did manage to get some sewing done, and I have managed to get some sewing done since coming home. So Friday I travelled back from the Isle of Wight and I got stuck in traffic for 8 hours. It was the most horrific journey back I have ever done. The A34 was horrible, and I've forgotten, because it's been that long since I've travelled on there, how bad it is. I used to have to go from Northampton to Andover in Hampshire at least once a week with work, when I worked for, when my head office is based down there, or was based down there, because that was the company I worked for at the time. And I remember it being bad, but oh my God, coming back, I diverted all the way through Winchester from well, it's not, I say all the way, it's not far at all. I diverted from Southampton through Winchester to cut off the first from the M3 onto the A34. That was fine, but as soon as I got to the A34, it was literally stop, start the whole way home. And what that ended up doing was causing me massive amounts of pain. I have a really bad problem, and have done ever since I've had my hysterectomy, with some of my joints, and particularly my left knee joint. And my left knee joint happens to be my clutch foot. And the whole way home, it was stop, start, stop, start. Obviously the rain was torrential and I was trying to concentrate on the road. I had the girls in the back, my lovely, wonderful mother, who I got into a humongous row with because I just lost it. By the time I got back to Northampton, I could not cope with the pain anymore. And I still had to pick up my daughter's boyfriend on the way back and drop my mother home. And then I got lost. And of course, it just went to pot from there. So Mum and I had a bit of a falling out, which isn't good. I've had to go and apologise to her. And then I got home and just cried. I was in so much pain. But I got back, I got settled. And then yesterday morning, I picked up everything out of the car, like the sewing machine and the overlocker, and decided that I was going to finish my lovely Zadie jumpsuit. And then my overlocker decided to chew and rip my Zadie jumpsuit. It's going to be one of those weeks, I think, this week. So I have finished my Zadie jumpsuit that I started last week in this beautiful fabric, Godmother fabric. It come together beautifully. The edges are also neatly sewn. You know, it looks as neat inside as it does on the outside. That kind of malarkey, one of those good jobs that you do. But when I came to the very last step, I'd hemmed my shorts, or the short trouser part bottom that are shorts. I was overlocking my fabric before turning it under for the sleeves to finish the edges, so I only had to turn it under once, because if you've sewn the Zadie, you probably will know what I mean by when I say it's quite a narrow turning to get it to sit. So sometimes it is just easier to overlock at the edge and then only turn under once. And that was what I was doing. And what it basically did was it chewed. I don't know if you can see that. So it chewed and all the thread came loose, and then it decided to suck this bit into my machine like a horrible machine does. And I had to then decide on how to get it out, which gently coercing it out was my first approach. And then I gave it a little tug to really try and pull it out after getting my snippers and just cutting a little bit. And I just had a massive slice go down one of the arms. Now, it was a clean slice, so what I did was sewed it back together, and you can see, because I haven't even attempted to go over the raw edges, and I kept it really narrow. But obviously what that's done is distorted the shape of the Zadie, so it sits slightly to one side. And I did think about maybe doing the same thing on the other side on purpose to even it out, but when I was playing with it and pinching it, I just end up with camel toe, which is just not a look that anybody wants. So I will pop in some pictures of it on. I am so angry because this fabric is just beautiful, but there's nothing I can do. It's just one of those things, and sometimes these things go wrong. So my beautiful Zadie jumpsuit did get finished. The length was perfect. I really like it in the shorts. It's probably just as well there is no sunshine there to actually wear it. So I tried to repair my overlocker several times. I rethreaded, I cleared it out, I went through all the normal motions. Nothing seemed to be working, and I think by the 6th time I'd rethreaded it after trying something else, I lost my temper and it got put to one side. I have ordered a new overlocker blade, and I have ordered some new needles because I managed to break my last needle in the process, in the hope that when they arrive midweek that I will actually be able to repair my overlocker and it's not, you know, doomed forever. I mean, it is a relatively inexpensive overlocker. You know, I bought it 2 years ago now, and it is basic, but it still should run without, but we'll just see. Anyway, so I had to go old school because I really wanted to do some sewing today. Really wanted to do some sewing. So when we say old school, I've gone back to finishing the seams. Sorry, just checking that my other half wasn't coming in, because you know I'm filming, so usually he likes to come out when I'm filming. So finish the seams with the zigzag stitch, which, if I'm honest with you, I really don't like. Just feels untidy, and you can already see that it's fraying. But what I decided to make was the Seasons of East Summer in New York dress, which was what I had chosen for my Little Miss So-and-so box. Now, if you watch the lovely Adele from Sew for Serenity, you would have seen her version of this, or versions, she's done two, and it is a beautiful dress. So the fabric that I chose in my Little Miss So-and-so box was a Lady McElroy cotton lawn, and it looks like it's got dahlias on it. They're not dahlias, I think they're the things that sit in the water, but that's what it looks like to me, and I think it's just absolutely stunning, this fabric, and it's all the colours that go with me. So I don't like the finishing of it on the insides, but I am happy with the way it's turned out. I had to make a size 12 top and a 16 bottom, so grading at that waist joint, because I am pear-shaped and I am a size 39 to 40 inch bust, and then I am a 46 inch hip, and I have a particularly large mum tum, which I'm not sure whether I like the way that this looks on. I don't think it's as prominent in the photos as it feels when you actually see it on. And the other thing I forget is that I look down, you look at straight. So it could just be a me thing, and I'm not wearing tummy tuckers in any way for this. So, you know, I might change my mind if I actually put it on properly. But it does come out beautifully. I'm really happy with the way it's finished. The fabric is stunning. I did manage to get a little bit of fabric left out of this as well, which I'm hoping that I can turn into this. I think there's about a metre, just over a metre of it left, and I'm thinking I might get a little t-shirt out of it, or even a bag, because this fabric's just so vibrant. It would be nice to have something that's usable and that would either be worn quite a lot or used quite a lot. So I'm not sure. But this is a really nice sew. It's so straightforward. I've done it in a couple of hours, and that is with finishing my seams with the zigzag way. So it may even be quicker when you don't do it like that. I would say that I think a drapier fabric would be better suited for this. Maybe I would feel more comfortable in this if it was drapier. The only thing I don't like is the zip. That's my thing. I don't like putting in an invisible zipper, and my invisible zip is far from perfect. No matter how many tutorials I watch, and I still watch 3 tutorials today, that is not an invisible zip at all in any way, shape or form. I mean, it blends in quite well with the fabric and I can get away with it. It's not something you can overly notice, but to a perfectionist, God, that would drive them around the bend. But I do love it. The other thing I really like about this is the neckline. It's slightly a hint of cheeky, but it's not cheeky enough that I couldn't wear it to work. I think I got a picture of me bending over in it, so it's still conservative enough. And I think because my chest is reasonably large, I do tend to find a little bit of an open neckline suits me, and a little bit of a plunge really suits me. And when I'm conscious of my tummy, having the eye line drawn more to the boobs is something I would prefer somebody to be looking at. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be happy if you were standing there talking to my boobs, but you know, I'd rather the eye line be drawn to that area than drawn to the belly area, if that makes sense, guys. So yeah, that is my Seasons of East Summer in New York dress. It's beautiful. I'm really happy with the result. I think I just need to give it a chance and try it on with some super suckers, and hopefully I'd feel a lot better. I'm not wearing a Me Made today. I'm not wearing any Me Made today. This is a top that has like a little vest top underneath it, and then this humongous sort of oversized knit approach. And I got it from a charity shop. I don't think it's like one of those things that you find when you're on holiday that's nice and drapey and loose flowing. Well, the sun's disappeared, hasn't it? So I needed something slightly warm, but also very comfortable to wear around the house whilst I make the most of my last day off, because tomorrow I am back to work. So this week's going to be quite an interesting week for me. I will have a week's worth of work to catch up on, and I know there was a couple of things I forgot to do before I went away, which I have spent my entire week off worrying about, but say levy. I would like to get a couple of bits cut out while I'm waiting for my overlocker bits. So this fabric, which I didn't actually show you last time, but when Adele and I went from my last sewing social to that gorgeous shop, this was one of the fabrics that I got. This was actually in the washing machine. So it's quite a sheer fabric, but it's definitely a sunny fabric. Not that we've got the sunshine, but I was thinking of making something like a Tilly and the Buttons Mabel top with this. Now, I know I haven't finished my other Mabel, guys. I'm fully aware of that. But I really like the idea of a gypsy style-esque make of a Mabel, and I feel that this would really fit the brief. And with a white bra underneath, it would look lovely when the sun is shining. So I want to get that cut out. And the other thing that I would like to do, if possible, I've got to wash this fabric because it hasn't been washed yet. But again, this was a fabric that I bought from my fabric haul with Adele. And this is going to be the new Craft House everyday dress. I've got over 4 meters of this. The only thing that I'm really worried about is how narrow the fabric is, because I think it's a 110 width, so it is very narrow. But I may just have to, with the skirt pieces, cut one and then cut instead of cutting on the fold kind of thing. But yeah, get that washed and get that cut out so I can at least start getting that going. Hopefully I'll have a normal Friday sews for you this week, and I can show you my progress. What I will say is the last week that the kids are at school, which means that the pressure and the heat is off. My eldest daughter is so much better when she's not in school. So much better. So I know for some of you parents it gets more difficult when the kids are off school to vlog and film. For me, my kids are teens. They're just not interested in spending time with mum. Mum's boring. And they just want to be off with their friends. So it does relieve some of the stress and pressure from me. They're not getting up every morning at 7 o'clock. And I can work and do what I need to do. And I haven't got to worry about sort of sorting out any kind of doggy care or anything like that because the girls are about. So hopefully one more week to get through and things will calm down a little bit at home. I have a ton of studying to do, so I'm also really hoping that I can get the opportunity to get some sewing done this week. So when I speak to you on Friday, I've got something to share with you. But I will have something to share with you because after the journey that I had back, I was extremely stressed, and then when my overlocker broke on me, I decided to make myself feel better and go and order a ton of fabric. So I went to Jenny Stitches, which I absolutely love, and I have been shopping there for a while, but it's been a while since I've actually bought anything from her. So I went onto I went onto the website and I saw loads of things that I wanted. So I've got a nice big order coming from Jenny Stitches. And also, if you guys haven't already, and it is still on, I think till the end of today, the Rainbow Fabrics website has a everything $4.99 sale on. So I have been on and ordered quite a bit, including my dress fabric for the dressmaker's ball. So watch this space on that one, because I will have some, I know Rainbow Fabrics won't be with me by next Friday. They're really slow on delivery, but Jenny Stitches Fabrics will be. So if I don't have something to share that's a sewing related thing, I will certainly have a fabric related share for you on Friday. So that's everything for me this week. I hope you guys have had plenty of time to sew. Don't forget to click that like button and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. I am loving seeing my numbers come up, and I am so close to hitting that 3,000 mark, and I really, really can't wait to get there. I haven't really been one for monitoring my numbers, but I did notice the other day that I'm like 2,600 and I've got another 400 to go, don't get me wrong, but it would just be really nice to hit that mark. Also want to say a massive thank you to all of the purchases that I've had on my shop this past week. All of those orders from when I was off last week will be going out tomorrow, and I cannot wait to send them out to you. There's been some lovely orders, and some of the new earrings have been selling, as well as some of the buttons. So hopefully you should all receive them by Wednesday at the latest if you have ordered. So have a fantastic week, guys. Happy sewing. Take care, and I'll catch you soon.